Hey guys, welcome to my little Grim Dawn experiment. It's time for yet another Eric 100% Kaisan runs to get his item. I'm going to make this a bit more noob friendly if that's okay, because I want the Grim Dawn community to grow. Especially because there's way too many new games coming out and people forget what a solid jewel in the mud this game is. It's wonderful. You can mod it. You can use specific tools to help you out. You can do so many things with it. And I'm trying to get the community to come back to this wonderful, wonderful action, hack and slash RPG. You're going to have to excuse me because my computer is incredibly slow. I'm running quite a few things on it. First things first, if you want to have a good time in Grim Dawn, you got to use some tools. First off, Grim Internals. It can display the kind of bosses that you kill, the kind of mobs that you kill, sorry, number of kills. It can display how many items you picked up, how much iron bits you made, which is the equivalent of gold, and what kind of items you looted. It also shows you very useful information, such as incoming types of damage, stuns, freezes, shocks, traps, sleeps, whatever you want. Petrify, even, because that is an ailment that you can suffer from because of some mobs. Personally, I did only one thing with it. I want to see exactly how many things I kill and how much money I make. I want to see what are my statuses when I buff myself up. OA is offensive ability, DA is defensive ability, and these are very important because because they show you if you can get crit or if you can crit. So as you see here, I have 26.1% chance. This is extra. That means my crit chance because my offensive ability is so high. And the second number here for defensive ability is 0, which means I have 0 chance of being crit by a boss, which is amazing. It's a mandatory thing, especially if we're running against the Nemesis. What the heck are Nemesis? Throughout the game, every time you kill something, it's going to be associated with a type of reputation. And your negative reputation, your infamy, let's say, goes up. Kaisan, which who is basically like the fat chungus of Grim Dawn, is the nemesis for Eldritch horrors. So when you go into the last campaign, the Korvax Basin, as long as you kill monsters that are part of this faction, you keep getting more hated with them. And you can see here, like, requires something despise, extra spawns. Requires hated, it means it's going to spawn additional heroes. And finally, when you get to negative 20,000 reputation, it spawns the Nemesis. And the Nemesis is Kaisan. The way Nemesis works is every faction has one, and usually they have a lot of spawn points. Like Kaisan himself has, I think, 40. But the way it works is when you load in a game like this, it doesn't just spawn it in a specific point. It's going to have equal chances for him to spawn when you're close to his spawn point. So what I'm trying to say is you can carve your own path and be very efficient and not visit every single spawn point in the game because that takes simply too long. I'm going to show you a linear path. Along that path, we're going to talk about monster infrequents, which are basic items with rare bases that are very important because they modify skills, they give skill points, they give +1 to all skill levels for different classes. And then we're going to talk a bit about what kind of monsters can give you items that can enable you to make a build and what kind of other tips and tricks you have there. Get your dynamite ready because we're going to have to find some treasure troves. They're very rare chests that you need dynamite to open, and these things contain basic mats, rare mats, and they also contain potions that can be very useful against certain encounters, especially when you're at the start, and recipes. And you need to collect the recipes to make any kind of build you want. Now, I'm using a warlord that is spec'd into um, God, I forgot it for a second. Eye of Reckoning. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to saying whirlwind or cyclone. I forgot. Eye of Reckoning, right? And the reason why I picked it is because it doesn't suffer a lot from diminishing returns, as in you still move at a regular pace while doing damage, meaning it's fast. And it's combined between a soldier and an oath keeper, which means I get access to blitz. I already have a charge, so I can cut distances quite rapidly. And the second thing that I have is I use Rune of Vampiric Shadow, which just teleports me through the ether so I can get across large packs of mobs without triggering their aggro range or having to kill them. Because let's face it, if a pack of mob comes to you and you can jump to the last one and you keep moving, usually they're slightly slower than you are, and you're going to be fine. Let's get into farming. So basically, I'm going to go to Ruins of Abid, the teleport location. And as I'm going through these checkpoints, I'm going to tell you what you should be looking out for. So we come here. These mobs, early ones, don't have any interesting item that they can drop. Sure, they can drop legendaries, but it's very rare, and they don't have a monster infrequent. First thing we do is we come here because this is one of the spots for Kaisan, and you can also find a totem, this new loot piñata mechanic that we got from Crate Entertainment and Zantai. Thanks so much, man. And whenever I'm going to see one, I'm going to use it because I want you to see what happens. These boys are called Associates of Rig, and because they're tied to a quest, I'm not going to tell you what the quest is, it's a secret quest. But that being said, you can turn them on or off as soon as you finish the quest, so you can have a chance for these rare boss-like guys not to appear. The reason why I'm leaving them on is because I want you guys to be able to see exactly how much they drop, so you can decide for yourself whether you want them active or inactive. Just talk to Riggs, and you're going to be fine with this. This is our first totem. So whenever you click a totem, you have a couple of heroes spawns, not boss spawns. I was wrong when I said that. And once you kill him, the totem itself also drops his thing. I have my items set up here from the filter to always show double rare, whatever they are. That means either a regular item with a rare prefix and a rare suffix, or a monster infrequent, which is a rare item in itself, with one rare prefix or one rare suffix. And this is the reason, for example, why these things show up. So Korvax Stormblade is the base item. It is a what is it? This one's the sword. It's not the axe, right? And as you can see, it already has +2 to stun jacks, raging tempest, crit damage, 4% of attack damage, cover tail to stun jacks, etc. So this is a stun jacks item, which is a demolitionist skill. Now it has a regular prefix and a regular suffix, and they don't work together. I know I'm trying to do many things at once, but I'm trying to give you guys as much info as I can while keep continuing my run. So we got to Ruins of Abid. Basically, whenever you get into these things, you keep going. This is a boss, Ketathun, and he's very good to farm simply because, well, he also has a very rare thing that can drop. And by a very rare thing, let's see, do I have one here? I don't. I'm trying to keep track about how many of them drop, right? So he drops a very rare legendary item. It's only for him. So if you want it, it's for Doombolt. You have to farm him. Now we just continue. We got out of that, and we're just going to keep going in a straight line up to the end. And even if I find Kaisan sooner than later, I'm going to continue my run to show you what I do. I think it's pretty decent efficiency. These dogs obviously don't give anything interesting. We just move on. Let's not forget to use our movement skill so we can pass through these mobs. We come here because this box sometimes is a treasure trove, or it's up here. It's not. I'll show you treasure troves in a second, because as I said, we have about 2 or 3 of them that can potentially give us some recipes, some very rare things, pretty good stuff. These guys keep dropping, for example, rare items that can be useful, but I already know the prefixes and suffixes, so these things are not okay. What we're looking for is we're looking olive name, which means monster infrequent base. We need bright green prefix, bright green suffix. That's triple rare. That's what the community calls it. They're great. Second place for treasure trove right there. Not there, we move on. Here we might find an optional mini boss. These doggos also have a lord. He doesn't drop any monster infrequent. He can spawn right here. But he does have a very, very cute item, which is a cosmetic item. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And here is the last place where you can have the treasure trove. Some dynamite can spawn also here, and since we use dynamite to open these bad boys up, trust me, there's a big chance that you're going to increase the number of dynamite sticks that you have by doing this farm run instead of reducing them. There's like 3, of course, there could be more treasure troves if you look through every single thing. every single knack, crook and nanny and stuff, but that's not the case. Ah, I see we have an upcoming totem. Very good. Now these scorpions and these little dinosaur guys also can give you some very good monster infrequents. I would say that in fact, one of the very few perfect items that I own is a monster infrequent that these guys drop. Superior of Voracity. Hmm. Superior gives the physical damage prefix, but it's flat. This one would have needed a bleeding prefix for it to be okay. Sometimes if I want their MI at least to show it to you, monster infrequent, I can also do this. So notice that this one has canister bomb damage, fire damage, right? And Veil of Shadows thing. So if you combine it between a Demolitionist and a Nightblade, this is the kind of weapon that you might use. It has a fire prefix, fire suffix, but they're both normal, so we don't care. Now that we've gotten rid of that totem, which was the important point, we keep going through all of the tombs, baby. Tomb of Satan. He can spawn here, 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 like anywhere. But generally speaking, it's enough to run through it like this, and you're going to hear the notification sound. That's the next thing. So whenever you install Grim Internals, it's going to also give you a very nice audio cue, not just visual. We're killing Sister Crimson. She has two very interesting rare monster infrequents that she can drop. Okay, and she dropped neither of them. She just dropped the Sign of Burning Vengeance. We're taking that. So she can drop the Scepter for Drieg's Evil Eye, which is an acid poison type skill. This is free dynamite, by the way. You saw it. So I told you you're going to get more dynamite out of this than less, even when you open treasure troves. And the second thing that she can give is a scepter that is specifically designed for Lightning Albrecht's Aether Ray, or AAR for short. Usually here I dip in here a bit just to see if he spawned in this corner. If he moves, sometimes I miss it. We keep going. We get out, start farming dinosaurs. Again, these guys have a monster infrequent. They're usually tied to fire damage. Scorpions have one-handed axe that gives physical? No, one-handed axe that gives bleed, and I think they have another monster infrequent that does elemental damage. It's for Panetic's replicating missile or something. All right, we keep going, we keep going. There's another totem that could have spawned here. You are going to see it on the map. And now this is a choice. We go into this tomb. I believe this is Uriah. Yeah. And there's two choices. One, you can have Associates of Rigs spawn, and you can see them here. You can have a totem spawn. You can decide to kill it or not, depending on whether you don't have enough legendaries to build things. In case you're still missing recipes or legendaries, do them all. And there's a boss here that you can do. Sometimes he actually spawns with the Nemesis in the same room, and that's when I love to kill him. I'm going to show him to you real quick, just because he's like a little test. He does the same things as Kaisan does. So we see the Scorpion, and he is going to summon these crystals that you see are linked to me and are doing massive amounts of damage. And finally, this is his monster infrequent, Scorpius Pummeler. And this is obviously a summon weapon, summoner, right? So we have two to Blight Fiend, two to summon Briarthorn, two to Reef Spirit. Unlucky. It's not what we wanted, but Reef Spirit can still be kind of useful as a utility thing. And it makes them do more poison damage. Now, technically, I'm going to take this because it also has physical resistance. Physical resistance is hard to get, and it's one of the most important defensive stats in the game. The difference between they killed me in 2 seconds and I survived to pop a potion usually is physical resistance. And it's kind of uncommon to have them on weapons, so that one, a decent find. I would have preferred another affix that is meant for minions, but we got one. I think that's the best we can. He can also spawn here, Kaisan, our fat Chungus. But before that, more Associates of Riggs. Whenever I see these guys, I have to pop an ability that reduces my incoming stun duration. You notice that I have 80% reduce, and now I have 57. One of the problems with Associates of Riggs is that they stun a lot. And sometimes some characters aren't going to be able to handle it. There's another totem here, and just for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to do it. But I usually avoid all of this. It's a deviation from my path. But who knows? Maybe we get to see, some new legendary that is totem specific. Phase breaker. Don't remember. I don't think this is unique, but still. And a burning blade of bestial rage. So this one has raised skeletons, briar thorns, raised skeletons again. Cool, cool. But it has 2 to frozen core, which is a completely different ability. This is the problem. If you get a prefix or a suffix specific for a skill, it can also be a bit generic and it can kind of pick the skill that it gives you. If you're lucky enough to land, for example, minion, 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 you can even get to like +7 skills in one type of minion with one item, which is insane, but those things are very rare. Now notice that what we do is we keep on going in one path. So I'm still going through the tombs because of course this nemesis can also spawn here. We're just going through things, killing because of the speed of my game, because I increased the speed artificially. It's sometimes even hard to jump over things like this, but it's worth it. And there should be, yes, another treasure trove right here. Opening this bad boy up. Ah, there we go. See what I mean? Rare mats, regular mats, and a Lego. Who doesn't like Lego, right? Okay, we keep going, we get out. Usually if there's a totem here, you can keep going and killing it because it's easy, but I don't go through here because this is a secret quest. You have to get the quest and unlock it. If you want, you can just Google it and see what's up. But generally speaking, I prefer to let you guys discover it for yourselves. If you need to, you can find guides. We keep going. And we're going to keep going until things get tougher. Here, I just like to see the mobs as I go down, so I want to, go through all of that. Another associate of Rex. Why are you alone? Usually these guys spawn in packs of 2, 3. The most I ever fought at one point was 8. Did you notice that? You have to kill the small the humanoids that are to the side because they just full heal this guy because I wasn't paying attention, which is a problem. If you're fighting Kaisan and you're not killing them, they will heal him to full, especially if your build is still in development and you don't have enough damage. Here, I come here, I shadow step the gate, and I keep going. And we have a totem. And as I said before, totems are really good. They give you a lot of mats and sometimes even very, very interesting. Do I even have to say anything? A ring of the Black Matriarch. Very rare, almost mandatory ring for certain physical type builds. It's in so many builds. See what I mean? Just keep going until you get them. And once you get them, keep going anyway because you need them with good rolls. Ah, there we go. Where are you, you fat chungus? There he is. Okay. Let's discuss strategy. So Kaisan has 2 things that are scary. His auto attack speed isn't that big. His actual melee damage isn't that big. But at one point he will summon 2 crystals that are going to link to you if you're too close to them, and they're going to start hurting a lot. So my strategy is charge in. I use my shout to reduce his thing. And once he comes here, he summons them. I pop Ascendancy for some damage resist. Then I just destroy him. Supremacy. Oh, this is so good. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I was actually looking forward to this one. I wanted a Kaisan's Burning Eye of Supremacy. Burning Eye means it has health on it and pierce resist, but Vigorous means extra physique and health, really good, and Supremacy means physical damage, all damage, +2 to Force Wave. So in total, and I have +3 to Force Wave, +1 to all skills and soldier. Mwah! Beautiful item. I was looking forward to this for so much. And he also dropped his warrant. So after you get Nemesis, when you kill them, they sometimes drop warrants. If you consume them, it's going to increase the speed at which these mobs hate you by 100%, meaning it's going to be only half as long for you to get to Nemesis status on a new character. Now, since the run technically ended up here, I'm going to show you what I keep on doing in case he didn't spawn here. You can come here and we can kill the Lord of all birdies. which is obviously going to be Mr. Azaleon. He's easy to he just drops dead. And generally he doesn't drop very good stuff. He doesn't have a custom MI, and I kind of want one. So Zantai, if you're watching this video, come on, man. It takes so long to get this guy. Just, you know, let me get an MI off him. Something cool, something windy, like the feather of Azaleoth or something. All right, we keep killing. Get another legendary. That's, what can I do? Right? Keep going here. Keep going here. Wait, was that Dreeks? So good. No. I mean, Dreeks, affix doesn't give plus level to Dreeks Evil Eye. Okay, hard fight ahead. Dravis, son of Uruburu. As soon as he wants to jump backwards, he's going to summon these ravenous earths underneath you. If you sit right on top of them, all of the projectiles are going to shotgun you. And that's the moment when I press my ascension because it gives me damage absorption. It keeps me alive. If you're not careful, they can one-shot things. I run through these guys and we go to the Steward. Steward is okay. You just pop defensive whenever he does his breath attack like that and you kill him. And Steward also has a monster infrequent, a special two-handed axe, a halberd that only he drops. Zantai, please make this a guaranteed drop. It's very difficult to farm this guy. You have to walk all the way to the entrance of this thing, kill him, and he doesn't have a 100% chance of dropping it. What the hell? Come on. I want to get my trauma Vire build going because that's what the item does. By the way, once you kill him, please make sure you don't click the entrance in case he drops something good, because once you go into the Tomb of the Eldritch Sun, well, you can't get out. There's no way of going back. So you'd have to walk again to the place where the item dropped. Now I'm going to do the entire run again just to show you. Also, when you're running around here, also keep an eye out open for a big red bright chest, which can take place of any chest we have here. Generally, when I go into the first level, I go through down here because I know that this is the way to go. It's easier to get away. And it's also very good to kind of go around the chunkers because unfortunately the chunkers have again collision. I'm looking for a specific mob. There we go. Vengeance of Kaiman, Brother Sigarius. This guy also has two very interesting monster infrequents that only he drops. And it's Demolitionist, which gives the bonuses to Wind Devil, Mortar Trap, Temper, etc. And of course, the other one is for Lightning. It's specifically designed for Wind Devils and Mortar Trap. But both of them drop very, very poorly, mismatching prefix and suffix, so we just ignore them and we keep going. There's also a couple of totems that can spawn here, which is not bad, again, like recipes and stuff. Usually when I get to this point, I kind of climb this hill a little bit just to see if the asshole spawned there. Sometimes that happens and I miss him, and I do a 10-minute run for nothing. Happens. And since we didn't find him in level 1, we keep going. Now level 2 is a mirror image. If in the first level we go through here, the down part, not the up part, here we're going to go to the left. Although once you do it a couple of times, it's going to be pretty obvious. So you come here, you do this, blah, blah, blah. And we just keep going around, jumping from mob to mob because I just want to get this over with. Naturally, if you've done this storyline, you also activated um, all of the shrines, so you don't have to worry about that. Thank God. I thought I couldn't jump to him. And now comes the hardest part of all. So you saw me killing the Nemesis. Father Kimon here in this room scares the shit out of me. He's more dangerous than Calagrada on some of my tunes. He's more dangerous than almost any other Nemesis to me. And I'll show you my tactics. But the fight is going to be fast, so you open the door. You cannot pass through here without getting some dots on you. So if you're a squishy character, stay here and wait for the dots to be over because they reduce also your fire resistance. See what I mean? We engage him, and when he turns around after the jump to spew things on you, you pop your defensive thing because he can shotgun you with the projectiles. The closer you sit to the inner ring, Korvax, I'm coming for you. Shut up, please. Thank you. So the closer you sit to the ring, the smaller the chances that the outer flames are going to hit you. Not only do they reduce your fire resistance, but they also apply a dangerous dot on you. So be careful. That in combination with Fighter Kimmon, lethal for 95% of all of the improperly geared tunes out there. Another thing that he does is he drops a very specific monster infrequent sword, which is specifically for Eye of Reckoning lightning version. So I've been farming for a decent one for like a year and I haven't found one. If you get to this point and Kaisan hasn't appeared yet, there's a bit of a problem here. Because once you cross this threshold, right about now, we get into this space is considered like a dungeon, so it gives you a modifier. If your character isn't very strong, it's worth it to take a pause and read them. The modifiers in red are what monsters do. The modifiers in yellow are modifiers for yourself. So in this case, monsters leech 600% of attack damage to health, but they have minus 60 health resistance, so minus 60 health. Basically, they're like butter to me. I just killed these assholes with one swing. Now, if you find gargoyles, if you got to this point and you haven't found Kaisan, farm the gargoyles. They have very, very important belts, shoulders, and helmets as monster infrequent items. You can also check all of these things out if you're using Grim tools. So thank you, damn it. You the man for developing that tool. Here I generally wait when I get to this point because there's going to be a group of gargoyles dropping down. If you find hero mobs, it's even better because usually hero mobs means better loot. So for example, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. If you have one of these that is specifically built around vitality and bleeding, prefix and suffix, you can have an amazing item. You can make bloody pox amazing with this thing, which is a very fast, fun dot skill thing. So whenever I get here to this point, I kind of take my time to kill all of the gargoyles. Now, generally, I keep going through this. Kaisan still has like 3 or 4 things to places to spawn here, so you can keep going. And the idea is I keep going until I get to the very, very end of this run. Once I'm here, generally, if I'm bored, I just start another run. He can also spawn here. One time he actually spawned here. I thought I was going to lose him. But if I still don't find him, that means he is in different areas for the secret quest. Unfortunately, when they implemented the secret quest for the Korvax Basin specifically, they kind of enlarged the map by quite a bit. Like there's secrets here, there's a secret in the entire area here, which means he now has more spawn points. But instead of going past the straight route that I took until I got here, I'd rather restart my run. It's easier that way. Sometimes he spawns in the first place by Ruins of Abid and it takes you 40 seconds to have a run. Since I got to this point, why not descend into the Eldritch Throne and kill Korvax the bitch? The first time you kill him, he has 3 of these treasure troves called Korvax Trove. The reason why I like to kill him is because he has a very interesting legendary that only he drops. So for the first phase, he does some damage. We don't care. We're not popping Ascension, which is our big CD. I just charge him to apply my devotions, and I start spinning with Warcry up. Notice that when those things get together, they can shotgun you. Now he's big boy mode, and now he does serious damage. So I charge him, I Warcry in my case, and I wait until he's ready to pop his stuff on me. Right now, when he goes into the air, pop your DR, and he won't be able to kill you. And it's better that way. So when he goes into the air, he keeps shotgunning these projectiles. By the way, if you haven't killed him after he goes into the air, do not go too far away from him because he also has this lethal charge animation if you're too far, and he does amazing damage with that. We've unlocked the troves, opening them up. Do we have any luck? Are we getting anything cool for the end of the video? No, we don't. This is also a good opportunity, by the way. Not only legendaries are important in this game, there's plenty of rare items, epics, I should say, that are going to be amazing. And some of them you can find along the way. That concludes basically my run. Let me show you exactly my progress so far. The strategy is to get 100 Kaisan eyes, burning, eldritch, I don't care at this point. And let's see, so far I am this many deep. These are the double rares that I kept. See? So you have prefix that's green, olive colored basic item, suffix that's green. This is what I'm talking about. And these are the regular ones. So white item means nothing. This is the secret of Grim Internals. But this one also dropped double rare. I'm keeping these shit items to remind myself of how useless my life is. And these are the eyes and these are the warrants because I wanted you guys to have a good opinion. If you're lucky enough, you can get something like this. And this is the a very few types of perfect items that I have. 4 canister bombs plus 2 you get from Flame Caller. You get Ring of Flame as a proc on this weapon because of it. You have massive fire damage, burn damage. You have conversion to fire damage that is absolutely on the money because any less than that and it would have affected the quality of this item. So perfection. This is an item you can build around. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to also post this on our little group on Reddit because I want guys to see what it takes and what kind of interesting build enabling items I can get by farming Kaisan. But this video is long enough. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll talk to you. If you have any questions, PM me. You don't even have to do it on YouTube. I don't care about comments, likes. This is just for you. Watch it. If it's useful, I'm glad. If not, that's something else. Right? I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck farming Fat Chungus. He's amazing and he can build you a build that you've never seen. If you're lucky enough to hit the prefix and suffix and base, it's worth living for. Good luck farming, guys.